I had to record an ad while I still had the stash. You know, that's why our advertisers pay the big dollars. Our first one, of course, Squaring Around is proud to be brought to you by Elite Sports. It's the only apparel company that's got our official podcast gear. If you want to support the show, buy a hat, buy a sweater, buy a jacket, buy a baby's onesie. We got it all. EliteSports.com. Use code SQUARE at checkout. Squaring Around is also proud to be brought to you by Homefield Apparel. Homefield is your one-stop shop to get every team in the entire universe of college athletics. Not Texas State yet, but I promise I've been sending these off-season emails. What have you guys been doing to get this partnership off the ground? Hey, I'll take the money where I can get it. Homefield.com. Use code SQUARE at checkout. Buy a friend a gift. Buy something to something. Hey.
Tired of winning the tailgate but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squaring Around with Jacob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
Before I even do an intro, I'm going to end Picturegate right now. All right? Look, check this out. I got called out on the internet because people think it's not straight. Look, that's why I can't have I have my computer at like an angle, but the picture is hung straight. But if I keep turning, like then you see my
Yeah,
pull-up bar,
that 90-degree cut in the door. I see it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So for anybody
Yeah.
wondering why I'm like offset all the time, offset, woo, 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 woo. That's why.
Take off. Yeah, no, I get it.
I guess I could overcompensate and like tilt this on an angle, but then I feel like that's like Pee Wee's Playhouse, like that's too much.
You know what's funny? I didn't notice it until right now, and now it's gonna bother me forever. So appreciate the OCD and group out there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these guys on Maroon and Golden are sick. How are you?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Squaring Around, the Texas State Sports Podcast. I am Jacob Rodriguez. No, wait, I'm Andrew Zimmel. That's Jacob Rodriguez. How's it
Wow.
going, Jakey?
I get how you would get confused because of our striking resemblance to each other.
Yeah, I
Especially
know.
now,
Mustache.
babyface Jake.
Uh-huh. Yeah, looking good. Got a lot of compliments this weekend back at the home base, which is
Yeah,
huge.
like never grow out your mustache again. We don't care if Steve Trout loses his job. Stop doing that.
Look, you heard it here first, folks.
That was from my mother, by the way.
There's a tough contingency of Bobcat alum that aren't pro Steve Trout, I guess. I don't know what's going on over there. Tough looks. That's fine. We'll bounce back. Speaking of bouncing back, how about the vibes in San Marcos now that UTSA is out? Feeling pretty good?
Up. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Are you more of the type that roots for a mid-major school like UTSA, or are you rooting for Coastal Carolina, who's now in the College World Series again?
Well,
Which
dude,
one was an easier rooting interest for you?
Coastal for sure. But I just read this whole thing about the Matador Club and how they've invested like billions of dollars into this thing over the course of like decades to be ready for this moment to avidly start paying players. And so
Yeah.
like Tech has the highest rated transfer portal class pretty much of all sports. It's insane.
Of all time, right?
Of all time, yeah. And so that's why that stuff in softball is really interesting now. And that's why whenever a mid-major does anything to get into a super regional or something, you kind of have to be like, go us. But Pat Hallmark, after he lost to UCLA, immediately gets on the microphone. And I know some like behind the scenes baseball going on here too, but he gets on the microphone after he loses to UCLA and he's like, we need help, which to me is code for I will not be here next year.
When I got to Rice, Rice was UTSA when I got to UTSA. Now as a player, this is when I was a player at Rice. We had a concession stand that was a trailer. Our concession stand at our ballpark right now is a trailer. Exact same concession stand. I'm talking at Rice now, I'm referring to 1994. This is when I was at Rice in 1994. It's a different ballpark now, thanks to Wayne Graham. But I was there when Wayne Graham did what he did as a player, and then I left and I came back to Coach Graham once he had built the thing into a dynasty. So I know what the blueprint looks like, but we need help. We need help from the people that run the school. We need help from the athletic director. We need help.
So looks like Texas State will never have to deal with that again, which is going to be great.
Well, I'll say this too. Think about what Trailer has said. Think about what Hallmark has said. UTSA is begging for money, which, look, should Texas State be begging for money? Maybe. That might be the next move for some of our coaches. I think GJ Kenny at the last bowl game was kind of hinting towards that as well. Like, hey, if
The
we want to
first
keep
one, yeah.
Yeah, if we want to keep doing stuff like this, it's going to take some money, going to take some commitment from the alumni base as well as the university. So far, the university stepped up. The alumni base still to be determined if they step up and do what they need to do.
I think what people are failing to realize about the whole revenue sharing deal, and we had a podcast with Don Coryell like a month and a half ago. Check it out. He talks all about it. And then, that house settlement came out. So now everybody can pay like, what is it, $20 million per
Yeah.
school?
Yep.
What people forget about that is that like NIL is unlimited, So everybody that had like their NIL stuff in order just gets green lights pretty much. And then the school gets to pay 20 mil on top of that. So the big boys stay rich. The little boys still kind of clawing and scratching here, guys.
I was going to ask. So Coastal's in the College World Series. They're a baseball powerhouse. We've known that since they joined the Sun Belt. Could this be the last little bit of spark for mid majors to do something like this? Because I think we're always going to get one or two, but to have a team like Coastal Carolina, who has consistently been good for the last like decade and a half, honestly, like 15 years, they've been a pretty good program. Could that end up with the settlements and the money and everything else like that? I don't know how many more chances at Omaha those type of teams are going to get. So that's why I'm rooting for Coastal to kind of break the news in Omaha. I'm hoping that they do well.
Well, if you're a young player and you're very talented at the sport, like you're looking for who could foster that talent the best, And if there's a guy at the Power 5 level who like can't do as good of a job at that because he has so much talent around, that's why you would go to Coastal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The
Well,
same reason
speaking
that
of,
people are like, baseball's getting looks in the portal. It's like, well, yeah, but also it kind of depends on a lot of things. You take an official visit to UTSA, you go out to the bird bath. It's much nicer than it was when we were going to school there, or not going to
but
school
it's still
there,
not very nice.
but going to
Yeah.
school at Texas State and coming to the games over here, but not nice at all.
So this is a good segue to you lost one of your favorite players to a team that lost to Coastal.
Dude, Ryan Farber
Yeah.
officially, I guess, announced his commitment or signing to
Mhm.
Auburn.
To Auburn. Yeah.
Yeah, San
Now,
Antonio
I think
Reagan's own, dude.
it's sick. It's disgusting what that coach was doing. As Auburn's losing to Coastal Carolina in the Super Regional, he's making phone calls to Bobcats. I hate that.
He's
I
like,
think that's you weren't a fan of Schlossnagle going from A&M to Texas right after they lost the national championship. I'm not a fan of a coach in the playoffs making those type of phone calls. By the way, Farber batted .250 against Coastal Carolina this season. I made that point. He didn't really do. He had 3 hits in 12 at bats, so it's not like he was a world beater. But he's seeing Coastal, and I think Auburn's saying like, hey, you did well in the Sun Belt Conference. You batted .267 in the regular season for Texas State. You come to the SEC, you might not be an everyday player, but if we need you in a situation against Coastal again, I know that I can count on you, which is big.
well, a lot of people also are like not realizing that like these guys are also realizing that many of them will not become professional baseball players. So they're like, you know what? How far can baseball take me? Let's go to Auburn. Let's go to, and I'm not saying Ryan Farber will or would not, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get the paycheck. And now with NIL, I mean, you got to get a lot of money for a first round or second round draft pick not to go to the minor leagues. But if you're a fourth, fifth round guy, why don't I stick around? Why not play really well? I'm excited. And look, Omaha's by far my favorite tournament. The Super Regionals is really where things like kind of lock in for me, at least, that I'm like, okay, I gotta be paying attention. Incredible baseball this weekend. It was so much fun. I'm hoping Texas State gets there again and plays, because even with the outcome of UCLA and UTSA, that UTSA fans were talking about, this is the best season of all time for the baseball program. I hope we get to go on a trip like that at some point, that it's like super fun. You ride with the team the way that we ride with the team on this podcast. It would be a great experience.
If you're a maroon and golden dude and you're donating, do you feel better or worse about where your money has gone this year so far? Like,
Ooh, if I'm giving money to baseball, I feel like it was a disappointing season. similar to the guy who buys a pay-per-view boxing match and the round's done in the first round, like fight's done in the first round. That's how I feel about putting my money towards baseball this year. I put money towards it and it did not give me the outcome that I was hoping for. I would be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same camp as well. But considering that we did win a Boobas Cup, kind of everything's pretty good at Texas State. Kind of hard to be like, hey, things suck around here because we're
No,
the top athletic department in the Sun Belt.
I'm happy with the Boobas Cup. I'd be more happy with some more banners. You know, we are regular season merchants.
Tournament banners.
Yeah, we're regular season merchants around San Marcos. I would like to see some tournament banners.
You know who's holding us down? Track and mother effing field, baby. And we're talking to two of the best runners, jumpers, throwers, candlestick makers. We got Melanie Duron. We got our guy, Chris Preddie, headed off to nationals. They're sending 10 guys out there. Can you believe it? I can because of the best damn team here.
Here it is, the Love Fest.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Squaring Around. I'm Jacob Rodriguez. That's Andrew Zimmel, the Texas State sports president. This is the show where we talk about everything happening at Texas State. But this is also the #1 track and field podcast, I think, in the country. Debate me. Come at me in the comments.
Embrace debate. Embrace debate. I think he's got something.
This is the best track and field podcast on the country. I'm talking to Chris Preddie. You guys know him from Squaring Around season 1 when he was a freshman making the trip to nationals. And now we got Melanie Duron on the call too. Laredo native. She can throw everything. What's the oddest object you've thrown, and what is the furthest you've thrown that object?
The oddest?
Yeah, oddest. You know, just something in your hands that you're like, ah.
I think like after practice, whenever I throw tape, trying to throw it into the trash can, it never works out. It goes probably like 2 inches. That's the farthest it's gonna go.
Inches. You can get there though.
Yeah, it might go over, it might go under, but it's never going in. That's for sure.
I was talking to Aiden and Kaysen, and I was like, well, jumping's kind of useful sometimes, you know, but I would imagine throwing maybe the most useful of all the track and field skills, maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Embrace debate, Chris. I don't know about that.
What is it?
I'd say running.
I say running too.
They're running.
Yeah. Well, what if, you know, somebody steals your purse or something, and you're like, ah!
You're getting chased by dogs.
That's what I was going to say.
That's true.
If someone steals your purse, running helps. I'll tell you.
It just depends on if you're the fighter or the I want to lead.
Yeah. No, for sure. I feel like for throwing, like whenever I want to throw something like at my fiance, it's always a perfect aim because it's just like I know where it's gonna go. I'm just like, okay, you got it.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about first too, is because you got engaged at the West Regionals.
Yes.
So
congratulations,
what's the setup? What was everything like? Paint a picture for our audience.
So it was right after we finished competing, and I had just found out that I made nationals. And we took our pictures with the coaches, with the ticket, and then I went to go meet up with my family. And we're all taking pictures like normal. And so whenever me and him take pictures, we always do both sides because in his head he has a good side and it's always his way or whatever. So whenever I was about to switch sides with him, he got on a knee and he used to play football and he used to be an O lineman, so those knees aren't the best. So when I saw him going down and kind of like trying to go down, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so like it was just so surreal. And
how are we gonna get him back up again?
Oh no, he put the ring on and fully like I guided him up. So that's what the funny part was. And also Brock Lesnar was there.
What?
Shout out to Brock Lesnar. His daughter was there, right?
Because he was, his daughter competed with me. Yeah. So he was there and Freddie was like, this is a perfect moment. He was standing right there.
Oh my God.
So funny.
That's cool.
Minnesota Viking legend Brock Lesnar, by the way. Just shout out.
Yeah, shout out Brock Lesnar.
Wow, a lot of WWE ties here. You know, Andrew hangs out with Mark Henry during the football season. Brock Lesnar was at your engagement.
What?
Yeah. Yep. World's strongest man, baby.
World's strongest man.
Uh-huh.
Never forget when he pulled those 18-wheelers. I thought it was the coolest thing as a kid.
Crazy.
let me tell. I don't know how Brock Lesnar is. I've heard really good things. Mark Henry might be the nicest guy on the planet. Like legitimately a gentle giant, greatest guy.
Bro.
Wait, so did Brock Lesnar say anything to you?
No, he
No.
walked like he's super like nonchalant when he's there. Maya, his daughter, she's such a sweetheart. We started maybe like calling each other friends by like indoor nationals. She's
Wow.
such a sweetheart. Like it's like she's super nonchalant about it.
All right.
Super
Well, you're
about it.
engaged, so you got to start sending those wedding invites. Is Brock Lesnar
Oh
on the
yeah,
list?
yeah. It's coming soon, but hopefully not too soon. Still want to graduate, but it's coming soon though. I'm really excited. He's just like, I'm the type of person that I'll talk about it a lot, and he's just like, all right, girl, calm down.
You have every right to be excited. I
Yes,
think it's crazy though. Like to go to nationals, that's probably like what you would say top 15 moment of your life, top 10
no,
moment
yeah,
of your life, and
top.
then boom, like this magical moment happens too. Shout out to you, man. That's great.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No, yeah, for sure, top 10. I'm never gonna forget those regionals. So yeah.
Chris, any good memories from regionals for you, buddy?
Just finally jumping 8 meters. That's
Comparable?
I saw it. Yeah, I think it's about the same.
Did Brock Lesnar happen to be there also?
Not that I saw.
I'm just saying, if Brock Lesnar was there while I was getting engaged, I'm like, I'd be like, is he gonna say like congrats at least? Like,
Yeah. His Maya for sure told me congratulations, but I was my dad was cheesing whenever he saw him. My brothers, it was okay. This is like such a like a funny story. When we were in the middle of competition, they gave us like a 30-minute warm up. So my dad was like, "What am I supposed to do for 30 minutes? Stop Brock Lesnar!" And Brock Lesnar was like going to the restroom, and like apparently a whole group of people followed him.
Yeah,
And
he's the Messiah.
And then my dad got up and my mom literally told him like, "You're not gonna go. Like that's embarrassing. Like you're so embarrassing." I was like, "You were gonna chase this man to the restroom. Like that's crazy." Like,
Cosign. I get where he's coming from.
yeah, I was just like, "That's ridiculous." Like
Chris,
please.
is there anybody that you would chase like that? Is there anybody that you're
LeBron.
like, you see somebody and you're like,
LeBron? Did you say LeBron?
LeBron?
I second that.
LeBron.
I second that.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's hilarious. Shout out King James.
Shout out King James.
Like if you were to ever come to attract me, like that better be the best competition I've ever had in my life.
Oh,
Ever.
it
I,
would be.
I think we need him to come to nationals.
I'd break the world record.
No, yeah.
Hey, he's got some time on his hands. He's watching the playoffs from his couch. He can come out.
Yeah.
What's he doing? He's got time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
LeBron, this is your call out, bro. Come to
Come
nationals.
watch us.
Come to Oregon. Just come, please.
There's your clip right there, Jakey. Right there. There's your social clip.
LeBron, come to nationals. What did this year mean to both of you? I guess let's start with you, Melanie.
This year meant a little bit more different. Only reason because I used to be a glider. So it's like one way of throwing. I used to be a glider my whole life. And in November, I had the courage to switch over to spinning. So I've literally only been spinning for 5 months, and being able to break through and go to nationals both times, indoor, outdoor, and PRing and breaking the SBC record for indoor, like
Shout out.
that was not in the books. It was not in the books whatsoever, and I feel like that just shows how much dedication and sacrifice I put into the throw and trusting in my coaches. So yeah, honestly, that's my take on this season. Like I'm just whatever happens next week, I'm just so proud of myself because I had such an amazing season. And yeah, only 5 months doing this, and it's really like really, really difficult. It's pat on the back, girl. It's a pat on the back.
We love that. Who told you to do the spin? Was it you? Did you figure it out, or did a coach tell you?
So Coach Frazier always wanted me to switch since my freshman year. I just wasn't mature back then. I wasn't a mature thrower back then. So when our new coach, Coach Nat, came in, we kind of had this conversation about, what if. this would happen, and Coach Frazier walked in at the right time, and he was like, "Okay, you're doing it," and I'm just like, "Ah, damn, okay, so I have to go." So it was really rocky because I think it was literally a month before our first competition.
Um,
Yeah, it was a month before our first competition, and it's my junior year. I gone to regionals all 2 years before that, and never made it. So I was like, okay, this is like third time's the charm, and I think thank God that like I'm in the position I am today.
Chris, I got to give you a shout out here. I didn't notice the LeBron jersey in the corner until
mhm.
you just said shout out. So yeah, real LeBron lover over here. Real Bron sexual.
Actually, I have a poster right there too. The case broke, but Braun fan for real.
So what was your season like?
My season was very interesting actually. So I didn't do indoor because I was out for injury. And it was one of those things that we didn't know really how to treat it. And in the back of my mind, I didn't know if I was going to be able to compete at all this year. So it just so happened that I was able to be healthy enough to start doing triple jump outdoors, but I still couldn't do long jump yet. And then I opened up my season with long jump, and it went pretty well, like the best season opener I've ever had,
No
especially
big deal.
indoor.
I'm like,
From
Humble,
there,
humble flex.
from there we just kept building and building. Conference wasn't the best for me. Like just form wise and everything, and I was a little beat up. So triple went absolutely horrible. But it was just like I was like, it's okay. Like I know what I can do. I know what I've already done. So going to regionals, I was very confident, especially in long jump. I was like, if I just keep doing what I've been doing, like I'm gonna make it. Like it won't be an issue at all. And I ended up jumping a PR into a headwind. So I was super excited about that. Finally got 8 meters. Been trying to get that for 2 years now. I jumped 799 last year, so I was right there. They could have just gave it to me, but I mean, I guess I'll work for it. But making it in both events finally is what really like made my season really good. Because normally I go to regionals, I'll do either good or bad long jump, and then triple jump, I just can't figure it out. It'll be the best season, and I just can't figure it out. So I finally figured it out this year. So we get to go to nationals in 2 events and try to compete in both.
What are you looking forward to most, both of you guys at nationals? Because I know like competing is one thing, but there's a lot of like perks on the side. So, Chris, what are you looking forward to at nationals
What am I looking forward to at nationals?
outside of competition?
Outside of competition, I'm looking forward to when we get on the bus and they hand me the sheet that says sign your per diem.
I'm so happy you're the one that said it, and I didn't have to.
Sign here, and then they give me an envelope.
Oh,
Super excited for that.
good times.
LeBron James, hopefully.
Hopefully. And we don't have to fly into Portland. We're actually flying into Eugene. And
That's
we
gonna
don't have to
be
take a 2 hour
easy.
drive.
Travel day.
Travel day is going to be super, super good.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that per diem is pretty sweet, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Can y'all tell me, because I know you both are very active on social media. It feels like everybody in the world, in the track and field world, is super active on social media. When did everybody like become a TikTok star that's doing all this stuff?
Still trying to figure that out.
Mm.
It really got popular last year.
Yeah.
Really took off for high schoolers, college, everyone.
Yeah, it did, honestly. Because like now, ever since the Olympics, I feel like track has been known more. Because usually track is get like put to the side, you
You're
know?
right.
And
Yeah.
it's
You're
like
spot on.
exactly, we've been put to the side, and now a lot of people are so invested in like Grand Slams, NCAA. People are running crazy times, and people are
I,
throwing like crazy. So that's what's kind of like bringing everything to the light.
I did not realize how big of a deal Grand Slam was till I went to Jacob's house this past week,
Uh,
and that's what they watched for fun. They were watching Grand Slams on the TV, and I was like, okay, I'll check this out. I've seen tennis families, never seen a track family before.
yeah,
So yeah, no, shout out.
Dude, it's the thing. I'm telling you. My dad's a
Imagine
track
running
alum.
for 100K
yeah, 100K for
with my
anything.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's you guys are like, oh, 100K, 100K. You guys got to look up on your free time how much the winner of the French Open makes. Because
Oh, I
it's more
mean,
than
okay, that's
100K.
that's different though. That's different.
Is it?
The average person who even just goes to that is are millionaires. Like it's just a different type of ball game.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight.
And
So if
the
it's
drink
like,
prices at those events are like $40 for like their
Yeah.
signature like open drink, like the French Open or the US Open.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
had that like lemonade thing. It's
So
insane.
if you were going to do median income, so the middle income, average income of a fan, where would you put the Grand Slam track fans? Because I feel like those guys are pretty well off too. I'm not seeing a lot of NASCAR fans at these things.
I would
Jebediah in overalls isn't showing up to watch track. Is my point.
I would say it's very it just depends where you're at.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends where.
You know, Miami, you might get, the higher up,
Mhm.
you go to like
The
Philly.
one we saw yesterday was in Philly
Last
or in
weekend,
Yeah.
Penn.
You go
Yeah.
to Philly,
It depends. Yeah, it
yeah.
depends on like where it's at and the
It's
environment.
like for people who go to like golf, it's like a little different. It's just kind of a different type.
Yeah.
I will say the Philly one saw a lot of Carltons, didn't see a lot of Will Smiths, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're funny.
Yeah, but Andrew always would tell me, is like, who is watching these events? And I was like, what do you mean? My family, my dad, Texas State track alum, my father, who told me all about Charles Austin as a young boy. I knew more about Charles Austin than like a lot of like actual like other athletes, like NFL, NBA. I
We
knew
had a
Charles
dude.
Austin
We
long
had a
time ago.
dude. Hold on, stop it. We had a dude play and win in a Super Bowl, and I think it was Super Bowl MVP, Ricky Sanders, and he was like, "No, know who that is. No
Right up
idea."
there.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So
I think
Charles
we
Austin,
nearly had Ricky on this podcast too. We still might next season.
Charles Austin, low key, might be the most insane person I've ever met on my planet. On the time I've been on this planet,
He's crazy.
have either of you seen yourself in him at all? Do you see any similarities?
It's hard to compare because I know he was different back then as a competitor,
Uh,
so now he's kind of more of a laid back, like
Laid back. Are you crazy? This
what would
guy was this guy was more intense than anybody I've ever met.
I think he told Andrew like nothing in my life will ever compare to winning that gold in Atlanta. And Andrew was like, "What about your wedding day?" He was like,
Yeah, yeah. Truly psychopathic behavior is my point. I love the guy. I would not want to hang out with that guy at a Grand Slam event. Is my point.
You start seeing that light come on into his eyes, and you're like, I'm gonna go get a hot dog. I'm gonna go get a hot
I
dog.
should scoot over a little bit.
Dude, we could put that guy in one of those hot dog eating competitions, and he'd be like, "I'm gonna beat everybody here, brother. Relax." Like
It's just a competitor in you. It doesn't die.
It doesn't at all.
Especially once you lose what you do,
Yeah.
you're competitive in
Like,
everything.
I had a coach last season. She transferred out. She's an Olympian, and she transferred schools. She was so competitive that even in our warm up, she'll be like, "I'm gonna beat you at a race," and I'm just like, "I do not run. I am not fast." Or like we'll be doing like backward throws with the men's shot, and she's like, "I could throw farther than you," and I'm just like, "Oh my goodness! Like stop! I'm not gonna get beat by my coach, please." No, yeah, it doesn't die. It doesn't die.
If anything, it gets more intense as you
I
get
think
older.
it does.
I'm telling you, these old people, these old track stars, we need to get them in a pickleball. It's low impact. They'd survive. They'd be fine.
Oh.
What we don't need Charles Austin coming on here telling me that I'm a bum. That's what we don't need.
I hope you run into that guy in person.
I would, you know what, low key, if he's at a Texas State, because he's coming to more Texas State events, so we might see each other.
He comes to the Charles Austin meet. He came
The
this
thing
season, did he? I think he did.
He came to both this
Yeah,
year.
he came to both.
Oh.
Super.
We're
he's
trying to get him to
super
come to
popular.
football games. I think low key, let's really dig into this. I think the reason he didn't come to football games is because they weren't as competitive as he was. Like 2-10, you're not getting Charles Austin there. Like
Oh.
you gotta win at least 8 games to get a Charles Austin appearance.
Yes.
I mean, we
Funny.
still we're not winning 8 games in the regular season right now. We got that 8th win comes from a bowl win.
We could.
A lot of
That's
guys aren't
the
playing.
thing. We're like they just
It's like we're right there, like this much.
don't finish it off, and then injuries and red shirts happen. But at the beginning of the season, we look great.
If you
And then
could
like
give a
at the
pep,
end of the season starts to die down. That's the thing.
if you could give a pep talk midway through the season, of the football team, what would it be?
I wouldn't even say midway through the season.
I would say in the beginning of the
At
One.
season.
halftime of every game,
Okay.
I
All
would
right,
be
guys, we're
like,
gonna hear from a real athlete. Track and field, take it away.
let me think. I'd
I
be
feel like
like,
I'd be very, very blunt. I'd be like, y'all see all these people out here? Don't embarrass yourself and go out there and do what you're supposed to do. That's
oh,
how I am because I've said that to one of our throwers before and he looked at me like, what did you just say? And I'm just like, there's so many people out here. Like, don't embarrass yourself. Like, you know what you have to do. Like, you can't tell me that you go into practice day in and day out and you can't like execute what you're supposed to do.
facts.
And then
That's crazy.
at the end of the day, you want everything on a silver platter? No, that's
Dude,
not happening.
Like, did he do
what
good?
happened to this conversation we had about Gen Z not being competitive? These guys are crazy.
What? Yeah, absolutely competitive. But just like she said,
I
I
think
mean,
I'm very competitive. I think I'm very, very competitive.
all these people come out
Yes.
to watch. No one's gonna remember what you did in the first half against Sam Houston or Old Dominion. Like, no one's gonna,
Damn.
gonna
He's
remember
called him out.
at the end of the game. So we
He's
just got
coming with
finish it off.
receipts.
We
Do you
got
know, hey,
four
by the way,
quarters.
side note about that ODU game. Do you know that game got Jacob on a watch list? ODU fans were
Yeah.
so upset at
I
him that
actually,
they were like,
I actually challenged people from Virginia to a fight for the next 6 weeks. People were coming at me on the internet, making edits
yeah,
of me, making TikTok edits.
yeah. No, it was bad.
It
It
was
was bad.
terrible.
Jacob
Yeah.
forgot that people in Virginia have the internet.
And people in Virginia forgot. I know a lot of people in Mexico. Don't travel there, boys.
They have the internet,
Talk that. Talk
trees, and
that.
moonshine.
You trying to go to a boys' trip in Cancun? Mm-mm.
Don't
Want to
do
go to
it.
Cozumel with your girlfriend? Off limits.
Don't do it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember a lot of football games. I usually
No,
leave sports stuff.
Chris pulling that out of his
I
back pocket
remember, no,
going,
the one I remember the most is Arizona State because we had that game in the
Oh,
back.
I remember that one
In
too.
the bag, and I watched the interception in slow mo at the end. Like the ball is just in the air, just caught by the wrong person. I'm just like, ah.
but at least we see that the spring sports have buy into the fall sports, that they're
Yeah.
like locked in. They're like, yo, you guys need to show up. We're tired of carrying you to these cups,
I mean,
these
yeah,
booze cups. It's all us, bro.
softball, volleyball, track and
Baseball.
field, women, like everyone's just doing their thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were on the field at one point, right? During the football season? What game did y'all
I
go?
wasn't, but they were.
The
Wow.
women were, I think it was one of the first games.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was one of the first games and we were throwing like shirts or something. I like bullet
How'd you
someone
do?
right in the chest. There's a video that I threw and I bullet someone right in the chest. I was like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. He dropped his beer and everything. I was like, I am so sorry. I will buy you another one. I am so sorry. And he was like, no, like that was a bullet. And I was like, thank you. Thank
Wow.
you. I
How
know.
far was that guy? The third deck?
No, not at all. He was in the very first row, and I was standing by where the cheerleaders were, so I was so close. It slipped out of my hand. No, like the video, it's so funny because when I put it in slow motion, it's just like he literally goes like, I'm just like, oh,
Damn.
so
That's not the
sorry.
worst someone's gotten in the first deck though, since I've been
Yeah.
here. Like when the ULM player threw that bottle, that Gatorade bottle,
No,
and
God, he broke somebody's
broke his
nose.
nose and his teeth fell
Yes.
out. Yeah,
Dang.
he got kicked off the team.
I think they even sued him. I
And
think.
like he was just bleeding. Like
Yeah, I remember being
those
at that.
bottles are not like those bottles are hard, and especially if it's full of water. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
You
The
know,
player threw the bottle?
Yeah,
yes, the
this
student
is
section,
what you miss
they
out
just
being in the
taunt.
press
They were
box, Andrew.
talking mad
You're
smack.
just
Though.
taunting and stuff. He turned around and chunked the bottle.
And it just went like through the side, like broke his
Broken nose,
nose,
All right,
broke his
out.
Time
tooth.
out. Time out. Time out. Ain't no way a dude's throwing a water bottle so hard it's busting my nose.
Well, it's
No
like
shot.
the
Andrew,
Gatorade
you
bottles.
have a
They're
big
heavy.
nose. It's gonna break it.
It was
Nah, dog.
a Gatorade
Nah,
bottle.
we're built different over here.
Absolutely not. You're a bleeder. I already know you. You're gonna
No,
hit in the head with a Gatorade.
that's crazy.
Teeth out. Like it was bad.
I was stunned. I remember that day I had a recruit. I had a recruit there, and then he was like, "Does this usually happen?" And I was like, "I think it's time for dinner. I think we need to go." It was
Uh,
so bad.
hey, but I
You were
hope
like,
that
well,
that
normally
becomes.
people don't even show up to these games, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that becomes like the normal. Shout out, Don. You're not gonna like this. KD, you're not gonna like this. I hope that we do more of that, where we get under their skin so bad that it's like a home field advantage. You know?
Yeah. But that's like with every game. I just feel like in that game, the players just couldn't handle it, but they talk smack in every single game.
Yeah.
Good.
I love the student section. It's so fun.
yeah.
It's better than when we were there, man. I was there. I was the only person there. Swear to God, hand on the Bible. I was in the front row.
Yeah. This
There
guy
was
won
maybe
Whataburger fan of the game.
for yelling at a referee. I was the only one there. I was screaming at the ref, being like, "Are you blind?" Only person there. So
That's so
tough
funny.
looks.
Tough looks. Sheesh.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
That's funny.
I feel like we
But-
barely even talked about track right now.
We did. We hit track. They're intense competitors. They're excited to go to Eugene.
Sunday.
What else can you tell me? Yeah.
I still can't I'm still picturing you like the only person of like sorry, that's like pretty funny. Like I picture
me-
you like just there, just looking at the game. By
Let me
yourself.
see if I can find this picture.
It's I feel like there's been a lot of changes, like athletics, but the one constant is that Texas State has always been so good at track.
Yeah. I feel like also like since my freshman year, it was kind of I always thought track was kind of like put to the side a lot.
Really?
I thought I don't know you, Chris, like freshman year.
Yeah,
Like go
I
back to
think
freshman year.
I think y'all really changed the culture when y'all started winning conferences. Yeah. And started like with Elizabeth, like winning
Win-
natties and y'all
Yeah,
doing all the stuff. I think it really started changing the culture. And then we finally picked it up on our side. But yeah, at first it was kind of, but now I feel like we get recognized.
yeah. I feel like we get recognized a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I remember like freshman year when the Fab Five
Hmm.
went to regionals together and we took pictures, and a lot of people. I got a comment and they're like, um, what jumping event do you do? And I was like, does it look like I jump? Like, thank you for the compliment, but I don't look like I jump. I was like, I'm a thrower. And so they didn't even know what throwing was. I feel like you have to really love track or like have interest in track to be able to know about it.
Hmm.
If not, people won't know what it is.
Well, let me tell you that the football team, there's only one player I've ever met who got recognized, and that was Jaden DeLora. Everybody else doesn't get recognized. So you guys are already better than they
I
are.
don't know. I feel like that's not true. First
I
of
feel
all,
like people get recognized now. I feel like more like familiar faces, people
Yeah.
recognize now.
Yeah,
like
like
especially the people we see on campus with
Yeah.
all sports, basketball, baseball, if that's what you're into. Because
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of people who don't really they can't sit through a baseball game and watch it. I'm not that way. I used to play baseball.
Yeah.
I really like
Yeah.
baseball. I'll even sit down like tonight. I'm gonna watch the Texas and Texas Tech softball game.
I want to watch that game so
It's
bad.
something that interests me.
We got to get it done. Texas has to win it, right?
You want Texas?
I want
I
Tech
can't-
to win.
I want Tech to win too.
I
I
feel
can't
like
root for Tech.
I feel like Tech has to win because if you're gonna pay your pitcher $1 million,
That's
you gotta
crazy.
come home. You gotta come home with the trophy. But
Nah.
I think they get it done. I think Tech wins.
Yeah, I think Tech wins. She's such like her mentality is so good. I saw her interview after they lost, and then she was what did she say? She said, that game was on me. Like, don't blame my team for nothing. Like, it was on me. Like, I pitched a bad game, or like I threw away the game, and I'm just like,
You were
oh,
cooking last night, tying run on third, strikeout.
she's gonna go off. I know she's gonna go off.
It's gonna be good. Then the Thunder lost last night. Oh my
You a
God.
Thunder fan?
No, I'm a Lakers fan, but I want the Thunder to win.
Are you a Lakers fan or a LeBron fan?
LeBron fan, so I
There
got
you go. All right.
every team.
He's
I can-
rotating around the league.
Yeah, I can get behind that then. I thought you were just a Lakers fan. I was like,
No.
this bums. All right. What are
But
you gonna do? It's year 23. You're just gonna give up basketball, or you're gonna pick somebody else?
uh, I can't pick someone else. I just
Got to
gotta
walk away from the
He's just
game.
he's just gonna walk away with the
I gotta
game.
walk away from the game.
That's insane.
Pick someone else.
That's crazy.
Can't do it.
Okay. I gotta get going here pretty soon, but I had one more question for you. So what would be a successful nationals trip? Like what would be like the hey, win, lose, or draw, like I felt like this was success, or is it you have to come out on the podium?
So for me, I feel like in an individual aspect, first off, I think I can go out and win it. I think that's something that I'm capable of doing this year, but I won't be upset if I don't. First team will be amazing, and it'll be a dream come true just standing on the podium. So that would be great. As a team, I think every single person going to nationals can be first team. Like, not a doubt in my mind at all. So as a team, everyone being first team would be doable and nice.
Yeah, I agree with exactly what you just said. I feel like personally, being the first team would be amazing, but even just getting the opportunity to be there, I feel like it's been a great season already. I was second team in indoor, so I want to break that and go for first team and get podium. As a team, I feel like exactly what Chris said. Everybody can get first team. If I had like breaking down for person by person, I feel like everybody is capable of doing such great things, and I'm so excited to see each and every one of my teammates compete. So I'm excited. I'm ready. Even though today was such a trash practice, we throw that one away and we forget about it and we move on. And that's all you could do. Have a short term memory. That's the one. That's how you win in track. Having a short term memory.
Can
That's
you
when you know the
imagine?
beat.
Can you imagine if the football team had this mentality, where we would be as a program?
DJ Kenny, you're on the river right now. Get out of the river. Get on the pod. Chris Preddie has words for you.
I think there should be a podcast where it's like two people from each sport,
Mm.
and we can all have a serious conversation.
Wow. Hey, we
Don't
can
have
set
Hey,
that up.
out.
we can set that up.
Have a
We can
Uh-oh.
serious
set that up.
conversation.
All
Word
right,
of
after nationals, there's a lot of different moving parts. During the summer, I mean, August, let's get it going. Jacob, you got the schedules. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Make something happen then.
yes.
Jubilee,
Well, it's going to be like
1v20.
Family Feud, but for the different athletics team,
Ooh.
basically.
That would be fun. We could get that done. I think we could get that done.
I think so too. I think there would be a lot of questions like, why are you guys doing this interview this way? But I also think it would be a lot of fun.
Would you do it on Teams or would you do it in person? I want to do it in
On
person.
teams?
Person
I
would be cool.
In person
I
might be cool.
It would be in person because you're able to see the like. You're
Mhm.
able to
So when Chris Preddie's looking, the football team straight in the eye, being like, show up in the second half.
Yeah.
All right,
I
I
went
like
to
it.
nationals as a freshman. What have you guys done?
What have you done? How's that first responder bowl ring?
Hey,
All right, I
can't
appreciate
do
you
much,
guys.
though. I finally got my ring this year.
Hey,
Oh. Yeah. Thank you guys for
got three.
And-
Sorry, had to throw
Jeez.
that back at you, Chris. But all love, all love.
Thank y'all for having us.
You
Yeah.
guys so much. We appreciate it, but yeah, let's get that one. That would be really interesting. That would actually probably stir the pot a little bit, but in a good way.
Wearing around ruins Texas State athletics. Yeah.
Week by week.
Yeah. So, Jakey, you have been banging the drum for this track program. You've been saying this is the best program we have at the university. And in nationals this weekend, it feels like, yeah, this is the best program.
As we sit here and talk on Monday, June 9th, 2024 or 2025, I've been putting 2024 on legal documents. That's not good.
Dude, it's 6 months. Figure it out.
Sorry. The heart wants what the heart wants. I had a good year last year.
All right. IRS said the same thing, I bet. So you're feeling good? 2025. We're recording on a Monday. They've compete Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah. It's kind of spread
So-
out depending on your event, but yeah.
Let's do wild predictions. I think Chris Preddie medals. I think he's on the podium.
National champ, Chris Preddie.
Really?
Melanie Duron, at least third place.
Do you look at the wedding registry for her? If she places, do you send a wedding gift?
I think we're gonna have to look at it.
All right.
Then we're gonna have to
Okay.
look. Could you imagine from squaring around? Oh my God, a foot
Shout
spa.
out silverware. Look at the silverware. Good dining room set. This is great.
I mean, it's got Andrew and Jacob's face on it, but hey,
Some plates. Hey, who says no to a good face plate?
Elite Sports, you hook us
Let's
up.
make it happen. Make
Let's
it happen.
Make it happen.
We eat off you, you eat off us. Right? Huh? Kind of the move.
Father's
All the
Day
clicks-
coming up. Squaring around like crayon. You know how like kids make it for their moms? Huh?
World's best podcast. People have been calling Jacob Texas State Daddy for a while. I don't,
The
Put it
Don
out
of
there.
Texas State sports media, Jacob Rodriguez.
Jacob Rodriguez, yeah. It's been said. Yeah, no, I
it's kind of atypical for us too, because we don't usually record this early in the week and have like all of our ducks in a row. So people are going to be like, "Whoa, what is up?"
This
with
is crazy. Yeah, I know. Like, wait, they actually got it together. Yeah, no, it happened.
Yeah, we are in true mid-season football form right now, guys.
We really are. Now, let's talk a little football, because I think we mentioned in the last podcast that NCAA 25 or 26 was coming out. And the update is that you can now pay your school by playing with the school more. Now, the revenue is like super low. I think it's like you have to play like 20 hours for $5. Like it's like you have to put in massive, massive hours.
You know who's going to be doing that? Zach Webb. Well, he's clocked in on the government dime.
The wizard of getting Texas State played.
Yeah,
I know. Shout out Zach. I'd be interested. I think that's a really interesting way to do some revenue sharing. I don't mind that nearly as much. And according to all reports, it's the best football video game ever put to game. So
26.
We'll see. Yeah,
I thought 25 was pretty good.
People have said that the new Madden in comparison, it's like comparing like a rocket ship to a scooter. That the NCAA is like so much better. So
whatever.
Okay.
These guys
He's
just
rolling his eyes.
glazing each other. Yeah. No, I'm sure whenever that new GTA 6 comes out, it's going to be like the craziest thing ever.
Here's the thing that I don't quite understand yet. Virtual reality has existed for like 10 years now, and none of these platforms are towards like virtual reality. I would have more fun playing College Football 25 in a VR headset, being like, down, sit.
Dude, our mutual friend, Tristan Giese, just got a VR headset, like the Quest, the Meta Quest or whatever, off Zen points. Of Zen points, dude.
Nicotine addiction is a real problem in this country. I'm glad that he's at least benefiting a little bit from it.
Dog.
Good for him.
And you know what? It's not all him, because he has a habit of grabbing my tins out of my pocket and scanning them and getting 15 points off me. So when I go to Austin, I'm expecting to play with his quests.
Hey, I'm expecting to play with more than just the quest. I'm excited. Good for him.
Yeah. You got anything else? Pac-12 still
outside of Texas,
still not happening.
Huh?
Pac-12 still not happening.
Yeah, Pac-12 check. No, pack it up.
Pack it
up. The baseball news disappointed me. The amount of guys that went in the portal.
Where they're going. Kind of known that for a while. Matthew Tiffy going to Alabama.
Yeah, where the guys are going is kind of shocking too to me, because
a bunch of mid teams who will not make super regionals next year.
Well, going to Alabama and Auburn, that's like kind of impressive. And I thought to myself, if we have this type of talent on the team, how much did we really underachieve? Like, if these guys are getting looks at by like Power 5 schools,
dude,
what's going on here?
Good. That's what I'm telling you. But then here's who's staying: Rashawn Galloway, Chase Mora.
Yeah,
Tyson
Chase Mora
Dudley.
led the team in batting average this year. So
what else we got? Oh, Samson Pugh. I'm pretty sure he's staying right now. I don't know.
But let's have a difficult conversation. If there really is this much talent on the team, whose fault is it that they didn't win more?
Damn.
Because
No,
you blame the players.
Are they?
I'm blaming your guy Steve Trout.
Is Steve Trout the guy playing the games? You still got to play the games, no matter how good you are.
You could spin this. I could spin this and go like, oh, these Power 5 teams are just trying to stock the pantry. They want to have backups.
We all know that.
But I could also spin it and go like, if any of these guys actually turn into reliable everyday starters for these SEC schools, we're gonna look at this season and go like, this is a massive failure on the part of coaching.
Yeah.
So
But
that's what makes me concerned.
you guys will remember a big difference from this year to last year is that at no point any one of these players went to like an NIL agent and was like, "What am I worth? Where am I going? Here's some tape. I'm in Oregon."
So by so by your account, things are much better because guys mid-season weren't asking for agents.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think mid-season these guys were like, "We're not going to make super regionals. Let's start getting some tape together. Let's string
Low
together
bar
a
to
couple
clear.
wins."
Low bar to clear. That's a tough look. All right, that's fine. I get it.
I don't because Matthew Tippy and Ryan Farber will actually play in some capacity over there. This is different than getting cut from the team midsummer, trying to come back to the team. What was
Yeah. All right. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
and that's not an at Dalen Pena.
Come on the pod. We're
Unless you
asking
want
you
it to
after
be
you a couple times.
Yeah, I ain't afraid no ghost. I'll say it to your face.
Okay. All right.
Where is he gonna go? That's gonna be a good announcement this summer. After taking a year off.
You want to get really crazy?
Hmm.
Been in Central Texas the whole time.
He goes to UTSA. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I would not be shocked. What would surprise you more, him going to UTSA or the UTSA baseball coach going somewhere else, taking over
him going to Trinity would surprise me the most.
The most, yeah, that's fine. I would mind that.
I think Pat Hallmark is done at UTSA. Honestly,
really, you think he leaves this offseason? Is that reckless speculation, or do you actually have some information?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, all right. I can tell you, I haven't heard of him leaving, but it wouldn't shock me if he did.
It's hard to go to the Super Regionals twice. That's all I know. Because we haven't been able to do it since we did that first time.
No, I don't think we've ever been.
Oh, well, we just went to the Stanford Regional.
We went to the Stanford Regional. Yeah.
Never been to the Super Regionals once, so.
Yeah, I was thinking because I went back and I was looking because UTSA fans were chirping at us. Not the case. Hopefully, like I said, I'm all in on Coastal. If Coastal wins,
I tip my cap to them. Good job, guys. Good season.
If
I said you guys are one of the best teams in the country in April. Nobody listened to me.
We took a game from them when we played, so
we split it.
2-1, but I'll take it. Damn.
Oh, Coastal.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about UTSA. I was like,
no, we took a game. We took a game from Coastal.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So I mean, like small victories.
We were in the national title.
What I'm saying, when they won the national championship, the next year they joined the Sun Belt and we beat them. So I'm down. Like, let's bring them back in, win the national championship, then come back to Sun Belt. But also, by the way, Booba's Cup, if they win the national championship, shouldn't, like, I guess they're so bad at these other sports this like season that the national championship wouldn't jump us. If you win a national championship and you're not in the top 4 in those standings, like, you gotta have some phone calls. We're calling the women's volleyball coach. What are you guys doing over there? What's happening?
24 points. But I guess this is based on the regular season? Question mark.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
No,
regular season.
Do regular season titles matter?
Would you rather have the Booba's Cup or go to NCAA tournaments? I can tell you, NCAA tournaments, you're making a lot more money than Booba's Cups.
If you're a Coastal fan and you win a national title, I will give you Texas State's Booba's Cup.
Would you rather have a national championship or the Booba's Cup? People are asking.
People are asking.
People are wondering, is the Booba's Cup more impressive than a national championship?
This is the dumbest conversation on earth. The only conversation that's dumber than this conversation right now is the Pac-12 talk. Do you remember that guy who added you on Twitter the other day? Because you were like, "Oh my God, this changes everything." It was like a Pac-12 like self-tweeted graphic, and he was like, "Yeah, it should." Like very clearly did not. I'm sorry, guy. I know you comment on our stuff all the time. That
was like, was that not hilarious? Was that not the funniest thing you saw? Oh, this changes everything. Oh, I was blinded to this like infographic. Now I'm in. Oh my gosh.
He's also blinded by his satire. And Guy, come on.
Dude, yeah, right? How do you listen to the pod? Do you know me? You
Yeah.
knew that was a joke, right?
Yeah, no, and we appreciate you commenting on our stuff all the time. It's hard for me to support something I don't believe in, truly. The
Yeah.
Pac-12.
The ATF.
I mean, this is like a Nepo baby, pretty much. Like the Pac-12 is the
The
Nepo
Pac-12?
baby of Power Four teams.
They got mentioned in that House settlement, or the money settlement as a Power Five group, and people were like, "Ho ho ho, Pac-12." It's like, well, they started writing this legislation before UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon and all these schools
This
left.
is like when Sprint was bought by T-Mobile, dude. And instead of that, you bought like Cricket Wireless. You got a bunch of these teams who were looking to move up anyway.
Damn.
Now have like a heritage brand associated with them.
Are you calling Pac-12 the Cricket Wireless of? Oh wow,
I am, and I'll be the first journalist in the world that's brave enough to say it, I guess. But to act like this is the same as Oregon, USC, Washington, like you have to have some sort of mental illness. Like pick them, bipolar disorder. If you're spending all your time on forums and trying to read the tea leaves of athletic administrations, where is your family right now? That's what I gotta ask.
gotta get this tweet off real quick.
What are you tweeting? Did you see Don Coryell? Tell me
What?
this is the Andrew Zone.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I did not see that. That's a tough look.
I'll retweet. I'll stand on that. What are they gonna do? Come at me from all 6 of their accounts that's pro Pac-12?
Right?
I've weathered worse storms than this. You guys ever dated a Latina before?
It can't be worse than that, right?
No.
How do you spell assault? ASSAULT.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that off. That's a tough look. That legitimately kind of looks like me.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Did he use AI to make that egg picture of you?
Will I use that as a reaction to now when you text me?
Do you know those like games where it's like the little soldiers like going plus and minus
Yeah.
and like building up a big army? That's what it feels like the Pac-12 is trying to generate support of. They're like going side to side, like plus 12, minus 12. I need this gun. I don't need this gun. And at the end of the commercial, they always lose. Okay.
You're talking about the TikTok ads. Yeah, that's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Truly impressive. All right. Thanks for squaring, everybody.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
Better not come any closer.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.